केबल देख ले
Hi, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is ERNY BALQIS binti ZAFARUDDIN, and today I'm presenting about active fire protection system, where my group and I will discuss deeper on the sprinkler system, which is a major contribution to fire safety in office building. As we all know that active fire protection is one of the earliest equipment to help reduce the spread of fire. It is well known that there are many active fire systems such as fire extinguisher, sprinkler, smoke and heat detector, wet and dry riser, and many others. There are 5 common types of sprinklers available, but we will be focusing on the wet pipe and dry pipe fire sprinkler system. It is very important for high-rise buildings like offices to invest this fire sprinkler system in their buildings and any other fire protection system as stated in the 10th Schedule Uniform Building by Law UBBL 1984. Sprinklers are designed to detect heat from a fire and automatically activate, providing a flow of water that is intended to slow or extinguish a fire. Besides that, the sprinkler provides enough early separation to allow building occupants to safely evacuate the building before the fire spread gets worse. And here, I will explain roughly on the process of installing the system. Number 1, the designers need to identify the occupancy classification and the hazard class for the structure that the fire sprinkler system is protecting. So, the designer will look into the International Building Code to determine what is required for the structure. Once this is determined, the designers will then refer to the standard for the design and installation of sprinkler system like spacing and piping requirement, minimum pressure levels, and its component option. Using all this info, the designer are able to create the drawing for the intended structure. Secondly, after getting an approval from the local fire safety authority, it is ready for the installation process. By referring to the drawing, the contractor on the project must guide his team on the steps and processes to properly install the fire sprinkler system. This installation is commonly done by the pipe fitters at the construction site. And lastly, once the system is completed, the system can be tested to make sure everything is working as designed. Once the system is installed and operable, the building owners must then do continuous testing and inspection of the system depending on the building and occupancy type. Next, I would like to share several reasons to consider installing a fire sprinkler in a workplace. Many people seem nervous to have a fire sprinkler installed in their property, assuming that any signs of smoke will cause a deluge of unwanted water. This could not be further from the truth, that as fire sprinklers are designed to react to heat. This means that a sprinkler will only go off if there is sufficient heat to trigger it, and the required heat levels can only be achieved by an actual fire. Besides that, most people shrink at the idea of water soaking the interior of their workplace and concerned that sprinkler will drench their belongings, ruining important documents and damaging their computers. While this is a reasonable reaction if sprinkles are going off, but the truth is that damages done are minimal. Fire sprinkler act quickly in reaction to a fire and just use enough water to extinguish a fire. The cost of recovering from a fire can be tremendous, but the cost of installing a sprinkler can be surprisingly affordable. Though it does vary from building to building and location to location, studies shows that most people will pay less for the installation of a sprinkler system than the interior.
The sprinkler pipe contains air under pressure, shown here in yellow. The water supply contains water under pressure, shown here in blue. The area located just beneath the clapper is open to atmosphere through the alarm port and the pipe connections to the automatic drain valve and alarm devices, shown here in orange. When a fire activates a sprinkler, the air under pressure in the sprinkler piping is released. The valve opens, allowing water to spray out of the sprinkler. Water will only spray out of sprinklers that have been activated by the fire. Water will also flow through the alarm port to the alarm devices to indicate water flow.
Assalamualaikum. My name is FIRDAUS bin MAZLI. So now I will continue about the wet riser system components and also its functions. So for the first one, I will go through the sprinkler head components, the details of the sprinkler head components. For the first one is the orifice. So orifice also called an opening. So the opening will vary in size. It acts as a connector or intermediate between the water flow and the sprinkler. And the second one is the thread. So thread, it acts as a joining of the sprinkler and the pipe. The third one is the plug. So it retains the water pressure within the sprinkler and the water pipe. So when the glass bulb is break, the plug will release the water from the pipe and go to the deflector. So we can see that the function of the plug is very important because it holds the water pressure from break through the sprinkler itself. So the fourth one is the sealed liquid filled glass bulb. So the glass bulb will burst when it reaches at a certain point of the temperature in the buildings. So the color of the bulb, glass bulb, is an indicator to the maximum temperature before it will burst. The common color that we see or be used is the red color, which is the maximum temperature is 68 degrees Celsius. After that, the frame and deflector. So for the frame, it has many finishes and it depends on the type of the sprinkler that want to be used. So for the deflector, its function is to distribute the water in a specified area to extinguish the fire. So the deflectors are very depending on the style. So sprinkler to distribute it that suit with the surrounding areas. So the choosing of the deflector is very important because it depends on the what type of the conditions in the building itself, because they want to spread the water evenly. And then the second one, we go to the wet pipe control components. So as we can see, this is water pipe that flow from the water supply and go through the pipe that flow through the sprinkler. So for the first one is the main supply pipe. So the main supply pipe is flow directly from the water supply. So usually the water supply is from the water tank and also the reservoir from the outside of the buildings, if the buildings cannot support the size of the reserve tank. And then the second one is the riser check valve. So the riser check valve is allow the water flow in one direction only, and it prevents the flow in opposite directions. Means that the water flow just go for one direction only. And then the third one is the pressure gauge. So the pressure gauge, they have normally they have two pressure gauge. So the function of pressure gauge is to read the water flow so that the water pressure is at the right and constant pressure. The water pressure is flow at the constant pressure. So we can see that they must have two pressure gauge in order to read the water pressure evenly. So the fourth one is the main drain valve. So the main drain valve is to discharge water from the outside, to discharge the water to the outside and away from the buildings. Then the fifth one is the gate valve. So the gate valve is to activate the fire alarm when the flow of water from the sprinkler system exceed to go to activate the sprinkler. It means that the gate valve, the function of gate valve itself is to activate the fire alarm itself. So the last one is the alarm gong. The movement of the overflow water activate the alarm gong. So as you can see from the diagram, the alarm gong is based on the water flow. So there's only one more alarm gong, which is used electronic alarm gong. So that's all for me for the function and also the component of the wet pipe sprinkler system. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is ZUMIRRATUL BINTI. So today I will be presenting on the advantages and disadvantages of using dry riser system and the wet riser system. So firstly, the advantages of the dry riser system is it does not using the water because it using the nitrogen or the pressurized air to hold back the water at the main dry pipe valve. Secondly, it's suitable for the cold environment as it is 10 for the temperature below the 40 degrees Celsius. Next is the disadvantages of the dry riser system. It is increased in the complexity as the dry pipe system is required the additional control equipment and it uses the air pressure or nitrogen to hold back the pressure. Second, it has a higher installation and maintenance cost. Third, it has a lower design in flexibility. This is due to the restriction regarding to their system size. So the addition to the system can make the system difficulty and not possible. Next is the advantages and disadvantages of the wet riser system. The advantages of wet riser system is the simplest fire sprinkler system. The system has the least numbers of components, thus a lowest numbers of items malfunction. Second, it requires less installation and maintenance costs because the least number of installation time and capital due to their simplicity. Third is the short-term downtime, meaning that it requires the least number of to restore and reset the control equipment. And the disadvantages of dry riser system, it is not suitable for sub-freezing environment because the system cannot be installed at the weather or the environments which the temperature is below the 40 degrees Celsius. If not, the system will be freezing. Second, the malfunction piping. The wet riser system sometimes can be severe impact damage or constantly leak. Thus, it causes the malfunction piping in the wet riser system. So the conclusion of the firefighting system is that it is essential for the building to have the firefighting system, especially in Malaysia, as it is one of the act to extinguish the fire. This firefighting system is consists of active and the passive firefighting system. So in our topic, we have discovered the active firefighting system, which is the wet riser system and the dry riser system. So when the firefighting system is being installed or allocated at the building, it helps to prevent the destruction of life, property, and the environment. Therefore, the installation of the firefighting system at the commercial or industry building is important to prevent the fire from spreading to other places, and this is to help to put the fire out. Thus, it will help to reduce the big huge of losses and to the occupant or to the owner of the building. That's all from me. Thank you.